Art is humanity's lifeblood. We are soulless without it. I cannot imagine seeing the world in complete grayscale lenses. It is our way of keeping ourselves grounded. Nature and our physical plane or physical state is the most natural medium of art. Our body and how our minds work is art in itself. It is unique to one's own, so much so that it has been part of our history and culture. We knew much of our past because of the remnants our ancestors have left for us to discover and decipher, most of which takes in a form of art. Hieroglyphics, instruments, books, paintings, and many more help us to get to know more about our past, our history, and never forget the atrocities done by oppressors. However, it is evident how little to no recognition art has in this fast paced capitalistic society. It is evidenced by how AI or artificial intelligence is maliciously used to replace genuine human skills and talents. Ideally, the technological advancement we have attained so far should be used to help us alleviate the stress from how these capitalists overwork us for their greed. In contrast, this very same advancement, is used to gradually eliminate workers like us for them to gain more profit and lessen their expenses for employee compensation like salary, benefits, and other stuff. And you can clearly tell the difference between the products made by humans and those who are made through programmed prompts or codes. And it is disheartening to see such human creation crafted with their intellect and expertise be used in the worst way possible. You can see how soulless AI art is. It does not even know the intricacies of the world. Even a simple hand is too complex for it. Yet the world is too fucked. There are people who fall for it because it's easy, it's convenient. Well, it does the work for you in just a few clicks or keywords. If I do not have a stable reputation that maintains my current side hustle as a freelance writer, I would have shot my pants thinking about ways to maintain my career. ChatGPT is free and even plagiarism checkers flag your original works, which is fucking unfair and offensive. Offensive in a way that how dare it likens my work to the one made by a fucking program. And you see how the world pits us together. And it forces us to be competitive, to burn ourselves out in exchange for money that's never enough to sustain our daily needs. Art in the hands of the capitalists were never created in a way that would benefit us. It is for their interests. It is to protect the status quo. I have mentioned that art is crucial in remembering our past, yet the existence of AI in the hands of these capitalists aims to twist the narrative and gradually erase our past. There may be small initiatives from other people to spread the objective reality of our society, yet the means of production, even in the cultural aspect, is owned by the rich. People like us with no generational wealth should never dream that we'd reach the top of the corporate ladder unless we'd sell our principles and turn a blind eye on their shameless exploitation of resources and on their shameless way of stealing things that makes us human. I know that deep down people would love to consume and create organically without the pressure of consumerism or social media. However, currently we are in a chokehold unless we do something about it, and that is to never let the capitalists completely win against us. If I had a choice to reset my life, but this time I have a safety net that I could fall back to anytime, I'd gladly pursue a multimedia art degree. But hey, I'm just an Asian daughter with a conservative family. I cannot afford to lose money and time. As much as I wanted to claim that I live my life the way I want it to be, it seems that the norms are still unconsciously pulling my strings. Not that I don't try to do as I please, but it's more of the external influences that affect my decision making. Despite that, I still try to make time to feed my soul by doing things that bring me joy. I'm using my art to go against the heavy currents of the status quo. One of the things that bring me pride is my art collective, which uses art not just for art's sake. Art is meant to be grounded. It is meant to give back to the community. It is meant to be consumed not by huge personalities but by the masses. Art should also reflect the reality of life, and it is not meant to glorify our existing in depressing state. I know I have yapped too much, but just in case you all are wondering, I've been very busy with my academics and did many art events while juggling my thesis and internship. I do not know how I do many things at once, yet I also always make time for rest and recreation. Having tons of workload is not an excuse for me to forget napping and yapping. These are my ways of not letting the capitalists win over me. They like to kill the things that make us human, such as art and time. Time should be a right and not a privilege, which is why if you are to choose between work and rest, always choose rest. Capitalists think of you as a dispensable resource. They would replace you in a snap. But your body and your life is just a single shot. Breathe before continuing again. Our enemies, the bourgeoisie, wants us to be busy and occupied 24/7. They want our soul to be stripped away from all its essence. They want our soul to be drenched. And we don't want that, so we should not let that happen. And that's it for my 7-minute yap. Till my next yapping session here on YouTube. Bye, and stay updated on my next uploads. Bye bye.